Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. Today I'm excited to share with you my third alternative card using the January 2023 paper pumpkin kit called Key to My Heart. This fun kit created 9 handmade cards, 3 in these 3 different designs. If you're interested in seeing me unbox this kit or seeing any of my other alternative projects, you can click on the playlist and I'll link it up here in the top right corner. Each month, I take the contents from the paper pumpkin kits and make alternative cards. Today, I'm sharing with you this fun card. It has these loose keys that you can attach to the locks. So I'll be sharing that technique with you today, as well as a variation on this card. So let's first talk about the background for this card. I originally used the envelope pattern. And so you can easily get this envelope pattern by removing all sides and then cutting this larger piece down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then you can use it like I did here on this card. However, when I was done creating all of my alternative projects, I did have one of the front pieces to one of our card bases, and this is the Fresh Freesia card base. So then I decided I wanted to use this piece as the background for my card. So I'm going to share with you a fun alternative to my alternative card. So let's go ahead and cut this down just a little bit. I'm going to cut it to 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I think I'm going to trim on this side here. This is the side that had the score. So the next step for this card is to stamp our greeting, and I am going to heat emboss it in white embossing powder. So I'm going to use an embossing buddy first, and then I'm going to stamp my greeting in Versamark ink in the top right corner. And I'm using the greeting, "You hold the key to my heart." Then I'm going to apply some white embossing powder over the greeting and tap off the excess, and then you can heat emboss it with your heat tool. So I wanted to add a little more depth to this area right here, and I'm going to achieve that by adding some more ink with a blending brush. You'll want to have a scratch piece of paper so that you can tap off any extra ink before you add it. And I'm just going to add a couple layers here. And I tap off so that I don't get any strong ink right when I start, because you just have all this ink that's sitting right on top of the bristles. And if you add it right to your cardstock, sometimes you can get these weird ink patterns. Then if you want your text to pop just a little bit, you can add just a little darker right around that text or your greeting, and that will pop. And then you can just use something to kind of clean off the top so that the ink isn't sitting at the top. This just adds that little more depth to your card. Next, we're going to heat emboss in gold the key stamp from the kit. So I'm going to use some of the leftover cardstock around my die cuts and stamp the key in Versamark. And I want 2, so go ahead and stamp 2 of those. Then apply the gold powder over the ink and tap off the excess. And then heat until shiny. And I noticed that the first one I stamped wasn't a complete image, so I did stamp and emboss a third one. So now we're going to fussy cut these out. So you get something that looks like this. So next we're going to cut out the center, and I have this crocodile hole punch, and this is, I think, a 3/16 of a hole punch size here, and it's pretty perfect for the inside of these keys here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. If by chance you don't have a hole punch this large, you could just take a pair of paper snips and do your best at cutting around the inside there. So next I'm going to show you how you can attach these keys to your lock. And the best way that I think is to actually make a snip at the top. So if you need to cut out the hole, this would be the way to do it, is you would just make a snip at the top, and then you would just kind of slowly work your way around your key to remove that opening there. So then you've got this opening here with the key, and you're just going to slide that on your lock. And I decided to do them all on the left side of my lock. And then on the back, you're going to take one of your tiny little glue dots and you're going to lay that over the cut area. Okay, so my cut is right underneath that. Then you can remove the paper and fold back any extra adhesive. So make sure that it's only on the key. And then you can actually take that same hole punch and some scratch paper, and you'll just cut yourself another little hole. Or you can use the hole from the key, and you're just going to lay that on top of the glue dot so that it's not sticky. And then you can actually just fussy cut around that again, just to trim off any excess. Okay. And then you've got this really cute key that is loose onto your lock. So I'm going to do that again. So you'll take your key and cut a slit at the top. Then you will add it to your lock, and I'm adding it to the left side. Flip it over, add a glue dot over the slit. So right here's the slit, and I'm adding a glue dot right over that slit. And then you will remove the paper and fold back any of the adhesive that may not be on the key. Then take just a scratch piece of paper, something small, and lay that over the glue dot. Take your pair of paper snips again and just trim off just the extra paper that you have on there. And there you go. Quick, simple, easy little detail that really makes this card a lot of fun. So now we can start by putting the card together. I'm actually going to lay this piece down first because we will be trimming it flat on the left side. So go ahead and add that to your card. I'm looking for this corner here to line up with the edge of my background piece. Whoop. And I want it to be straight. So something like that. You want to make sure that you see a little bit of that gold peeking out at the bottom. And then you can flip it over and trim off the overhang. Just like that. Add it to your card base, and I'm just using a card base of thick basic white cardstock. Then I'm going to take that vellum strip and add a little bit of adhesive where I think I'm going to hide it with my elements, and just place that about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. And then I can add my blocks. This first one I'm going to add close to my greeting at an angle. And then the second one, the circle one, I will tuck in behind it at an angle as well. And then position those keys just down near the base of the lock. So on my original card, I felt like it needed some more gold accents because it's all just right here. So I added 3 gold sequins from the pastel adhesive back sequins. And so on this card, it has more gold. So if you don't want to add those sequins, you don't have to. But I did use 1 large and 2 small sequins. So I'll just add them so you can see what it looks like. Place one up near the top, and then the small ones down a little further on the card. So just like that. And your card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun card. If you're interested in subscribing to get your own paper pumpkin kit each month, please use the link in the description box below. If you would like to see written instructions or close-up images on how to create this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.